I think it's good to remind yourself at certain times in your life that you don't control every single aspect of things that are constantly happening to you, and thinking that you can will just drain and waste your energy into things that you can't control. Instead, I have found it very much more effective to be putting this energy into what you can control, into things that you actually can control, so you're using this energy for your own benefit. So, what you should be putting your energy into is your own self and things that you can control about yourself and ways that you act and move throughout your own life. If you think that you can constantly control the world around you, you are wrong, and you will find yourself in a bottomless pit of using your energy for no benefit. Stop trying to change the world around you and instead work on changing the world inside of you, because as soon as the world inside of you starts shifting and changing, the outside world, external world, will be mirrored. And I know that this can sound really sucky because you just want to be able to control the things happening in your life and make sure it's going smoothly, but you just have to trust and put your trust into the universe or God or whatever you believe in and bringing you to where you are meant to be. And actually trying to control your circumstances and surroundings can slow down you moving to where you're supposed to be, because instead of just, casually walking there on a nice little stroll journey through life, you're over here trying to fix the thing right here and fix the thing right here and fix everything on the way and try to make it all perfect and exactly what you think it should be, when really you might not know what is the exact best for you in this lifetime. I am definitely guilty of trying to control aspects about my life that I just don't have control over. And from these experiences, I have learned that it does nothing for you but teach you that you can't control everything. This has also taught me to let go a little more and accept my life exactly for what it is and love it for what it is. When you can truly release control, even just for a second, you will feel so much more free and light in your life. And even if you feel like you haven't done everything you want in your life, it won't matter, because you will love exactly where you are and know that the things you're meant to do and people you're meant to know, everything's gonna happen and coming. You just have to relax and live your life, okay? That's my best tip. Just relax and live your life, okay? That's it, folks. The way that you speak to yourself reflects how you're speaking to the world around you, and the way you speak to the world around you reflects how you speak to yourself. Also, the way you feel about the world around you reflects how you feel about yourself, and the way that you feel about yourself reflects how you feel about the world around you. Now, I know that seemed like a tongue twister kind of, but it really just goes to show how our internal feelings and projections and insecurities can be put out into the world and spread easily and unconsciously. Easily and oftentimes our trained thoughts can come from a place of fear and worry, of rejection or not fitting in or looking weird, etc. A lot of people's thoughts can come from their insecurity and fear of what other people might think about them, when really the majority of your thoughts should come from you believing in yourself. Now, if you can be real and honest with yourself for a second and see if the places you're coming from might be trauma, insecurity, fear, etc., you might want to start thinking about changing how you think and thinking of yourself more highly. And I know this part could sound weird to some people, because why would someone who seems so cocky and arrogant want to think of themselves more highly? Wouldn't that just make them more arrogant and cocky? But actually, the people who are arrogant and cocky are sad inside, so they deserve self-love. The way that you think and see and feel about the world around you comes from many different factors, but one of them is focusing on yourself. Personally, I believe focusing on yourself is one of the most beneficial things in your entire life. Focusing on yourself starts with not comparing yourself and your life to anyone else's. I believe that you can get the most fulfilling results in life when you're living for solely yourself and only competing for yourself and aiming for better results for yourself. Live your life for who you are, who you want to be, and not anyone else's opinions or limitations they want to put on you. Focusing on yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever it may be. I can guarantee will positively impact your life in ways that you can't even imagine yet. All of the work that you put in inward will reflect outward eventually. And the work won't be simple, but that has nothing to do with you becoming a better person on the other end, feeling and seeing how much you've grown. You will learn more about yourself and the world around you, and in turn hopefully speak more positively towards yourself and the world around you, and feeling better towards yourself and the world around you. Even your perceived flaws are something to smile about, because why would you want to feel like shit about yourself? Why would you want to feel like shit about yourself when you're actually a cool as fuck person who has a dope life full of experience, growth, learning, love, and connection? You don't have to fit into a societal standard to be and feel amazing. Become your own standard and put your energy towards yourself if you feel like shit. Times come in our life, most of the time unexpected, that can cause pain inside of us. During these times, it's crucial to remember what more life has to offer you than this one painful moment. If you've ever questioned why the way you look isn't enough, or if you've compared your life to other people's lives and the way they look and feel like shit about yourself, have you ever thought of what might make you feel better from these self-sabotaging situations? Maybe perhaps setting some kind of goal, working towards something that will make you feel better about your life, knowing you're creating a life you enjoy living more. Once you keep at it, stay consistent, don't give up on yourself, and keep implementing new passions, interests, and hobbies, you will notice how much more enjoyable you can experience life and yourself. You'll stop feeling like you're faking this happiness when you start feeling the progress. The world surely isn't perfect, and so is no one in the world, which includes you. So stop trying to be perfect, because you already are with all of your imperfections. I recommend that you give it your all and do your best so that you have no or less regrets on wondering of how much of an amazing life you could have lived and how much you could have loved yourself and how happy you could have been. You know that being happy feels better, so work towards that and remember that everything takes time. Loving and expressing your individuality and uniqueness is a superpower that only you can do and be. So exert your power in being your truest self, which includes accepting every single part of yourself internally and externally, including the good, the bad, the beautiful, and the ugly. You have the power and control over your mind and what you want to tell it and what you want to believe. You can choose how to view yourself in your life, so choose to love yourself. I bet that anyone watching this could relax their shoulders right now and drop them, or relax any part of their body right now. As humans in our society today, we are accustomed to living with this tension and trauma inside of our bodies. People are so used to the tension and tightness that they don't even care it's there, or even notice for that matter, because it's so normal. Our emotions and trauma are stored inside of our body. This trauma lives inside the tension inside of our body. You can help release this trauma and tension by relaxing your body consciously and intently, and allowing yourself to let go of all the tension and firmness inside of you. Since it's so normal for our bodies to function like this throughout the day in today's society that we don't even realize it's happening inside of our bodies sometimes, we can forget how we need to heal our body and what it's asking from us. And everyone on planet Earth has been through a traumatizing situation, so this doesn't exempt you, even if you want to avoid it or deny it or push it away. These traumatic experiences are what create and form our perceptions of life and people. When the trauma inside of you is left neglected or unprocessed, it will fester and arise from your internal standpoint to your external life in noticeable ways. Maybe you lash out in a certain situation that triggers you from some sort of trauma that's inside of you. Maybe you're avoiding fears you have that are truly harmless to your being, and maybe you're even finding yourself resisting your own existence. These are just 3 ways that your trauma can show its presence inside of your body. If you have never paid attention to or deeply thought about your possible traumas before, I highly recommend it. When you look into your trauma and experiences and can reflect on them and feel them and grow from them, you will find yourself having many breakthroughs, realizations, and overall growth. Now, I'm no trauma expert, but there are definitely trauma experts out there, so if you are feeling lost and really want some help on this, I recommend going to them. But an easy first step, if you don't want to do that, is to reflect on ways that you feel and think about yourself and your life. Reflect on yourself and see if these beliefs and thoughts could have came from a traumatizing situation that taught you to believe this in your past. And just to remember, you don't need to be in a huge, horrible, life-changing situation to be traumatized. Even the smallest little thing, like an insect going on you, can trigger trauma. I wish you guys luck healing your trauma and a lot of self-love, and I know you can do it. It's not the most simple journey out there, but nothing is, so work for it for yourself, because a better version of you is under all of the hurt. Some people, there's always going to be some people. Some people that hate you, some people that love you, some people that admire you, some people that despise you, some people that love you, some people that wish the best for you, and maybe even some people that wish the worst for you. These people's perceptions and chosen intentions uncovers to some degree the way that this person feels about themselves on a deep level inside. Sometimes these people will want you to quit, fail, see you at your worst, and keep you at your worst. You may have heard the saying before, if everyone likes you, you're doing something wrong, or a friend to everyone is a friend to no one. And I think that these go to show how it's natural for people to not like you. Remember that you can disagree with people, and it's normal to not see eye to eye with every single human being. Just try to catch yourself if you find yourself projecting onto this person because you feel triggered or threatened by their opinion. Disagreeing and disrespecting are not the same thing, but often used together with people who feel like they lack power, love, control, care, or etc. in their life. They think somehow by causing others pain, it will create less for them and somehow create some sort of control in their life that they feel they're lacking by beating down on other people. Now, these some people can get the best of you if you let them determine your self-worth and character. Don't let these some people determine your life choices because you're the one who's responsible for your life. Why would you let someone who hates themselves define how capable you are of self-love? Just because people who hate their lives might project it onto you doesn't mean you deserve to live the misery and pain that they live. It's taken me a journey and a half to not let these some people dictate my views and beliefs about my own life, but remembering how minuscule these people's judgments are about you when you're living and standing in your truth and they're living and projecting from their shadow is a huge reality check. Like mosquitoes, people who are in the dark will always come for your light. The dark is something we're all familiar with in one way or another, so try to have patience and maybe even sympathy if you can for these people who are struggling and want your light. When you're able to unconditionally wish someone the best and they decide to wish you the worst, it's telling in itself of these people's characters. There will always be people hating on you and disagreeing with you if you're doing something right. If you find these some people to really be taking a toll on you, just remember that this is asking you to remember your strength and toughness. You know who you are, and these some people don't. Don't let insecure, negative people define you and project that onto you, making you believe that that's who you are when that's really who they are. Show these some people who you are and how wrong they are about you. There are many fine lines between different things in life, and specifically what I'm going to be talking about is the fine line between letting go of your past and healing from it. Sometimes in life, even though clinging on to the past is what can make you feel comfortable, is not what's best for you. And this can cause more damage than you really think. And I'm not trying to imply to disregard all of your past experiences and emotions connected to them, but I am trying to say that if you hold on to these prolonged, it can hold you back in certain ways. Something I've asked myself in this situation of, am I really still living in my past and processing my emotions, or am I a fully new person now who could just be clinging on to the past because that's all I was used to and really stop? Ask yourself if this past timeline or experience you're holding on to is something that's still serving you in some way, or something you still feel a lot of pain and damage from that you have to work through. This becomes self-sabotage when you continue living in a cycle of your life that no longer exists or needs to exist for your growth and benefit. Taking a step back to reevaluate where you're at and if you're ready to let go of these past experiences and if you have healed is a different process and has different outcomes for everyone. Something to note is that you will probably have some kind of different mindset or perspective if you have done a lot of healing from your past. A different perspective from your past perspective. Thinking in your old patterns, beliefs, and stories will do nothing but keep you living in that space. Ask yourself if you are truly healed enough to move forward with a new perspective and newfound light, or if you still maybe have some reflection and self-introspection to do. And never feel bad for having to do more healing, because the more healing you do, the more beneficial it's going to be in the future. And processing your emotions is a different experience for everyone, so it can be different for everyone in the amount of time that they are healing. But if you feel like you're holding yourself back in some way but not exactly sure how, really ask yourself deeply for a second if there's any baggage or anything you're holding on to from your past that you can let go of, because you just don't need it anymore. And after you really reflect and ask yourself these questions and you still find yourself in a space where it's best to be continuing to heal, know that the letting go part is coming after the healing. So there's no rush and you're exactly where you're meant to be. Make yourself become the person who gets something done when they say they will, and suddenly everything you want to accomplish will become done. We can all have voices and people in our lives telling us to go different ways. Your thoughts and followed actions and choices in these situations are what make up your life. If you get things done when you say you will, your mind will start to believe in yourself more when you say you're going to get hard things done in life. You create the life you live and the person you are through your thoughts, choices, and actions. If you truly want to be someone who gets everything they want to do in life done, start doing the small things every day to improve your confidence in putting yourself on the path and destinations that you desire. If you can stick to your word, not only yourself, but the entire world around you will have a lot more respect and take you more seriously, because they can see that you stick to your word and how truly strong you are. When you're able to create a life that you love living, people can become intimidated by you because they can see how you don't let just anything get in your way. When you don't do the things you say you will in life, at a certain point you won't even take yourself seriously, because you know the truth and the slim accuracy of you actually accomplishing anything that you want to get done for your dreams. There are countless of ways out there how your life can change from external or internal factors, but the truth is that you have the most power in changing your life with your potential and strength. No one can change your life the way you have the capability to, because no matter when these people leave or they go move on and do other things with other people, you will be there for yourself, still changing your life when they're gone. I hope that you have the inspiration to at least one day become the person you know you can, that is inspired, brave, and unstoppable. To a certain point, your life comes down to nothing else than what you make it to be. From me to you, be more in this world and in your life. There are so many people in this world who can even appear to be your friends and family who really don't have the best intentions for you and want you to do your best. People can see your potential and want to tear you down because they don't really see that in themselves when it's there. And this positivity and love and capability is inside every single human being in the world, as long as you believe it's there and use the power that you have. Society has so many norms these days that don't even make sense and just put people inside of a box to make them feel worse about themselves, their life, and their potential. There's enough potential for every single human being on this planet to live a happy, fulfilled life. Life doesn't have to be, and in fact isn't made to be, difficult with all of these extraneous things that have been created over time to keep us farther from being more at our true potential of human beings. Be more without being disrespectful and destructing the world. Be more by building yourself up and building the world and people around you up, even if they want to tear you down. Be more by always being there for yourself. Be more by doing all the things in life that you dream and dare to do. Be more because anyone who looks at you when you're in your truth and happiness and love and light, anyone who looks at you in this moment and sees something negative, that is a pure reflection of something inside of them that is rising to the surface for them to notice. Be you and be more, because no one can be more like you can be. You have so much power and potential, and if this sounds a little harsh, it's not meaning to. I just really got a strong message to convey here. When you know your true worth and power and choose to live in it, you will realize that there is nobody in the world that is entitled to your presence, time, words, or energy. When you are living in your true power and worth, you won't be affected by other people's expectations or want to change yourself for these other people and try to impress them. Having an entire room of people surrounding you, looking at you highly, won't change the fact of how you feel about yourself. If you feel so highly and powerful in yourself and you walk into a room of people who don't see that in you, it won't matter because you'll feel the truth inside of you. Knowing yourself and being able to confidently express the truth of who you are as a person. Whoa, voice crack. Sorry, guys, lost my voice. As a person in the world, you will be unstoppable because you will realize that there's nothing that can stop you besides yourself. So, if you're the one who keeps yourself going, you're kind of going. No one's expectations will influence your choices when you are aware of your true power and you choose to live in it. A lot of the time when we give our power away to other people, we do things for them and what they want us to do instead of doing things that we actually want to do deep down inside of our hearts that we're capable of doing. No one can tell you who you are because the only person who really knows you the best in the world is yourself. Move through life and live your life exactly how you want to and what makes you feel the best if there were to be no one else in the entire world. When you know your true worth and power and you're living in it, your life will start to change because things will start to fall apart so that a new foundation can be built and built upon. I know how worthy you are and how deserving you are and how capable you are. So if you didn't hear that today, replay that again, okay? So don't really have anything else to say. Just gonna hop off. Bye, guys. Something I try to remind myself throughout my life is that the people who are meant to be in your life will be in your life. And even the people who screw you over are meant to screw you over. Because the people that screw you over and teach you something are leading you to the people that are meant to be in your life. And the people who are meant to be in your life you can't meet until you learn certain things that will make it so that you can learn the things with the people who are meant to be in your life, what you're supposed to learn. Sometimes even people who are currently in our life that we can maybe feel like they're supposed to be there are actually what are holding us back. So I find it really important to try to listen to yourself and your own intuition if the people who are in your life are really there for your benefit and uplifting you and elevating you. I promise you, even if it seems like years or months or weeks or days where you're alone and lonely and have no one, the right people will be there in your life eventually. You just have to be there for yourself maybe first. The right people in your life will value you for you, accept you for you, and love you for you. We all know that everything happens for a reason. So even when it seems like relationships might be crumbling for the worst, it's actually for the better. In my opinion, everything in life is for the better because it's all how you want to look at it and what perspective and lens you want to see this from. Even if something horrible is happening, there's still something positive maybe to be coming from it. You know? That's what I think. I kind of accept the hard moments of relationships and friendships in life, even if you feel like you're alone or, there will never be anyone there, whoever understands you or is your true friend and there for you like you can be there for someone. But I promise you that the gods and the universe has you in mind. They have you in mind and they got the people for you in the bag, bro. These people coming. I swear, you just gotta be patient. Stop looking at the clock and start looking in your mind and start looking at the world, okay? These people are coming for you. Just prepare. Become your best self so that when you meet these people who are meant to be in your life, they can then stay. That's it, fam. To me, there is a lot of resolving and evolving that goes on in every single person's life, consciously or subconsciously. To evolve, we do have to resolve and rebuild upon what we may have stuck with as our foundations before, when really evolving and expanding is what we're born to do. Resolving can be anything that's inside your heart, mind, body, and soul that could be holding you back from things that are coming to you in the future after you can resolve these past versions or these past beliefs, past experiences, past projections of yourself and your life. A lot of people hold on to so much in their identity and life and beliefs that sometimes it can just explode. And sometimes when you don't work with yourself to resolve the tension and negativity inside of you, it is then harder for you to evolve because you will feel like you're in handcuffs being trapped by your own self when really you have the key to everything. By working through and processing and letting go and feeling what you feel for why you feel it, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you know you're deserving and worthy, even in moments when it's hard to resolve these difficult feelings and energies inside of you. Once you can work with these and transform and transmute them, you will be evolving because you will be resolving the things that were holding you back from flying. Hey guys, coming on here from the bathroom to tell you that kindness is not a weakness. At least I don't believe kindness is a weakness if you're using it in a way that makes it so it's not a weakness and for people to take advantage of you. If you know your boundaries and you're stern with them and you know what you won't let people do to you, but you're still nice to them and acting kindness through them, I think that shows your true strength. When people want to fuck you over or want to fuck you up in your head, excuse my language, but you don't let that happen and you don't let it get to you and you prevail with kindness and love, I think that shows someone's true strength. Then repeating these cycles of negativity when someone may be judging you or treating you in a bad way, and then you just continue to treat them in a bad way and continue the cycles of these generational patterns. It's your choice if you want to end this for your generation and your bloodline, or if you want to stay in these lower states of living. I think there are right times to be kind, which is the majority of the time, but sometimes when people cross a line that's too far, you do need to get your point across in a way that might not always be the kindest. You don't need to insult them and call them stupid and ugly and all these things that could hurt their feelings that isn't kind. But I think being able to react from a place of peace in your heart center, of kindness towards others, no matter the circumstance, shows your true strength. So I believe that kindness is a strength, and I don't think you should let anyone tell you that being kind is a weakness, because I think being mean is a weakness, and it shows your weak points, and how you think you have to be mean to get what you want in life, because that's just not true. Keep shining your kindness, and if you still find yourself reacting from a place that's not kindness, I recommend to ask yourself why. Why in these certain situations that trigger you and make you upset are you reacting or exploding in these ways? And what could help it so that you could react from a kinder, more loving place? Because kindness is not a weakness. I think kindness is the biggest strength in the world. The other day, I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and we were talking about music and rappers and all of that jazz. And we were kind of getting deep into it, and I realized that the music we all listen to shows how similar our lives and situations are in our own different ways. I know usually different and similar aren't used in the same sentence because they mean different, close to opposite things, but I believe that we are all living a universal life that is similar in our own different ways. And the music that we listen to shows and proves us and provides evidence for this, because the music that artists create come from somewhere inside of their own heart and their own experience. And that's why it's so relatable for all of these other people, because our lives are similar. Even though we have different things thrown at us, different situations in our life, different perspectives, different obstacles, different opportunities given to us, and different mindsets, it's still a similar experience in the sense of the feelings we all feel, because we all feel the same emotions and we all do go through more similar situations than people might think. We all are here to learn similar things, and most importantly, learn about ourselves. And that's what I think that this music does a really good job connecting everyone, because it shows life and it provides words and expression for life. And I just think more people should realize the true unity that everyone has as humans than just what the media paints society to be versus what it actually is without all the manipulation. Moral of my story right now is that music unites us all, and it shows us, even someone that you may have thought you would never had anything in common with, what if you guys like the same song? There's something in common. And I know that we all interpret these songs in different ways, but they're similar, different ways, guys. Similar, different ways. Here's something not everybody follows through with in life, which is that you can change the person that you are. Who you are today doesn't have to be the person you are tomorrow, next week, a month, a year, or so on from now. Just because the things that you've done or have happened to you in your past doesn't mean that is the person you are going to be in the future or you are today. Personally, I have been a very different person in my past, and a lot of people who haven't gotten to know who you actually are now under everything that is fake, they don't see the progress all of the time. And what's most important is that you focus on your own progress, because it doesn't matter what anyone has to say or think about you as a person. If you love yourself from an authentic place and not from a place of your ego, you will genuinely be enjoying your life more and loving yourself more and waking up every day happier. If you've recently or over a longer period of time changed the person you are, just know that anyone who has these past timelines of the person that you are false. And to me, I just carry on with my life, not putting my energy into anyone who thinks I'm someone that I'm not. Because matter of the fact is, a lot of the time when you change, you have to let people go who don't serve you, and it's a hard truth. Sometimes they're your best friend, sometimes they're your family member, but these people are blocking you and making you see things and believe things that aren't true to your true self. If you make the choice to let go of certain people in your life for your own benefit and progress and evolution in your own life, I have come to terms with accepting that these people might just only have an idea of who I used to be in their head, and they have no clue who I am, because I don't allow these people who were in my past versions of myself to influence the current version of myself. There is not one person on this planet who should have a say in how you feel about yourself, unless it's for a positive matter. If someone's trying to tear you down, they aren't for you. If someone answers your questions through their own benefit and not actually taking a bird's eye perspective and maybe actually trying to help another person, it goes to show how a lot of the time some of these people we think are best for us are actually just trying to make the best for them. And you should be trying to make the best for yourself, but it shouldn't be by tearing other people down. It should be by building yourself up and the others around you up, because that is what will truly elevate you. It's love. That's the secret. Bye, guys. Use this information however you want, but I personally believe that the only thing you can be scared of in life is yourself. And this might sound confusing or not true at first, but what I boil this down to is you can think that you're scared of these external factors and things outside of yourself and your own brain and mind, but in my opinion, the only thing that you're scared of is your feelings, thoughts, life, decisions, choices, your mind. You're scared of what your mind attaches to these things that you think are scaring you, and really, you are scared because something inside of you is feeling that way and wants to attach these things and make these labels for things as good or bad, scary or evil, hurtful or painful, or feeling good, when really you have the power to choose if something that society and the world could program and deem as scary actually isn't. Ask yourself why you're scared, maybe. Why is this thing outside of me affecting me and having more power over me? Fear has a lot of power, and if you give into it, it can very much control you and your life and where you're going in your life, because you're taught to be scared of all these things because you don't know what could happen, or all these bad things and what anyone or anything could happen or say. But the truth of the matter is, anything could happen on any second. So why are you letting your fears and your own mind and your own self and your own life and experience and mind and thoughts, why are you letting yourself be controlled by your own fear? Why are you getting in your own way? And why aren't you pushing away the voice that's telling you to limit yourself and to be smaller? I don't agree with that voice, and I don't let that voice rule my life because I have a different voice that doesn't come from fear. So do with this information what you will, but I don't think you have a reason to be scared of all the things you might think are so scary in the world. Bye, guys. If you ever often feel judged, I have a question for you. If these people are actually judging you, or if you're just assuming they're judging you in your mind, I have a question. These people out in the world, everyone's going to be judged in their life at one point or another. And my question is, once you're judged or you feel judged, then what? What is so bad about other people's perceptions or reflections or observations or feelings about you? What matters most is how you feel about yourself, because that's what controls your life. I know it can seem like everything surrounding us and other people can choose and impact our lives, but the matter of the fact is, no matter what anyone else does, it comes down to you and what you're going to do with your life and how you're going to react and how you're going to move forward or be torn down or whatever the outcome you decide it is to be. So, someone judges you. How do you feel? Are you letting all these other people's opinions, reflections, perceptions determine you and your worth in your life? Or do you know who you are and you can pick yourself back up, you know? And I was at a time in my life where I didn't know who I was. I was in a very different place on my journey of, finding out who I am, and I believe that's a lifelong journey, and I'm still pretty young. If you don't really feel like you know who you truly are or the truth of yourself that you could be expressing into the world, it can be a lot easier for these people to tear you down by their judgments or opinions because you don't know where that true love for yourself is, and you allow other people's hate or lack of love affect you and what's inside your heart. So if you feel horrible or like people are judging you, I recommend to go find love in yourself. No, it might not happen overnight. No, it might not fully be there in a week or a month, but it does come if you stay consistent. Consistency is key in just about everything. So stay consistent with yourself, pick yourself back up, and know that anyone judging you is not worth your condoning them. Don't allow them to tear you down, because you're so strong and you don't need anyone to be there for you as long as you have yourself. So next time you're judged and you feel all these things, I just realized to let it go, because if someone judges me, that's them and their story, and you make your story. So if you want them to be in your story making you feel bad, so be it. If not, cut that shit out. Bye, guys. If you've ever found yourself saying that you're jealous of someone or something for whatever reason it may be, I believe that there is no such thing as jealousy, and there's only what lies beneath that jealousy, whether that be sadness, pain, anger, hurt, low self-esteem, whatever it is. You aren't jealous of what they have, but you feel that you lack what they have. And this is why jealousy is a very negative, harmful cycle to be in, because you'll be thinking that you don't have enough and looking at all these other people and putting them on a very high pedestal when you should put yourself on a pedestal, so that you don't have to be jealous of these people's things, and that you can heal yourself and realize that you have everything you need from within. And saying that you're jealous and covering up your emotions with jealousy will do nothing but make you feel worse. Personally, I don't ever use that word anymore, ever, because why would you ever be jealous for someone? In my opinion, either be happy for someone or fix yourself. Jealousy always has something behind it, and I think that jealousy is just the disguise for your own pain and your own feelings of lack. If you're expressing jealousy for someone or something, you should express more love and care and attention and worthiness for yourself, because Anyone that you find jealousy in only means that you see something in them that you don't see in yourself. So work on opening your eyes to seeing your true worth and who you truly are. Because if you think the truth is that you don't have these things that everyone else has, you're lying to yourself and you're creating those beliefs and lies for yourself. So change how you think and act, or continue to live in jealousy and negativity. What you're jealous of shows what you should work on. I don't think anyone should ever be jealous because we all have what it takes to live a fulfilled, happy, amazing, joyful life inside of our own hearts. And when you're looking at everyone else, you can think that they have all of this and it can make you stress or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Focus on yourself, stop being jealous, and figure out what's behind your jealousy so that you can improve your own life and not continue living in these negative cycles that are only manifesting negativity into your life. Focus on spreading positivity and love inside your own self for your own growth and evolution. The more that you grow and heal yourself, the more that the world around you grows and heals. So work on it. Or don't, but I recommend it. Bye. A poem about alcohol abuse. You probably still hate the world because you probably still hate yourself. Time after time again, giving yourself love in a bottle when true love is putting the bottle back on its shelf. Drinking for a break, but only running a longer, harder race to a finish line that doesn't exist. Why do I feel so lonely? If they say one friend is enough. The bottles will never leave me. They will only trick me that I'm tough. Days go on, and I wonder what was ever wrong. Why am I the problem for all my problems going on? Why does no one see, and why can no one hear? It feels like I'm screaming, but into no one's ear. I thought I had nothing to fear, but being alone year after year has brought me to decide that nothing in this world, not even the bottles, are a friend that is real. Thought they taught me not to fear. Thought they told me it would all feel better after one more beer. Instead mask the feelings I don't want to feel. I feel them now. I see them now. Does anyone else? Or am I still stranded in the middle of the ocean, ready to drown? Will you only ever notice if I wipe off my smile and show what's truly under my cement mask, a frown? Liquor doesn't talk back. It doesn't make me question how I act. It puts me under its evil spell, thinking what will fix me is to get blacked. Out of my mind, spirals time after time, a walkway to death. Too far, too many times. It's whispering not to listen to anyone else but the bottle I call mine. Staying away from you, I've tried, but now it's time. If you were my real friend, why would you lie and try to sabotage my life? You can run, but not hide. This is a game I don't recommend. Now it's time to be honest with myself and not on my fake friend called liquor depend. It's time to say goodbye. Wait, can't I go back just once again? No. It's time for my broken heart to mend and my self-love to extend. I never imagined it to happen like this, but I guess that's how it was all meant to be in the end. A poem about strangers. It's easier for me to love a stranger because they haven't hurt me yet. I don't know what they've done. I don't see them as their regrets. A face with a smile, what could be so wrong? All their truths wrapped up in lies. To love a stranger, would that be wise? A look on the street could mean nothing to you, but you touched my heart, and I wish that you knew. From strangers I've grew, strangers out of the blue. But what's a stranger that you get to know? Are we all a stranger? Are we all friends? Are we all family? Where does it end? Where does it start? Is this all pretend? A stranger is what you make it. To all my strangers I commend. The story of a stranger is the story of a sorrow. You might not see it now, maybe not even tomorrow. The strangers see it, feels it and all. Glory and none. Every stranger has to fall. We are all a stranger. There's somewhere we all belong. Will it be long before I am a stranger no more in this world? At least I am not a stranger to myself anymore. But what do I know? Loving is light, if you choose to see. You can see a stranger with scars or a stranger with beauty. We all have both, so why pick and choose? That's on you, deciding who you want to be and what you want to do. I want to love, I want to feel. I want to reach, I want what's real. You could have done me wrong, but I still wish you love, and I hope you get it too. It's always perfect when it's sent from the heavens above. Perfection might hurt, but what doesn't? A stranger to me could be someone that you're loving. Well, I love them too. Probably not like you do. I want best for both. I want strangers to be close. I see no strange in a stranger. I think it's strange that you judge. Why look down on someone when you could look up with love? What's wrong with someone you don't know? Maybe you should try to get to know them. Maybe then you'd understand. Maybe then you wouldn't have to pretend. Strangers change my life. They change what I see. I hope they feel what I wish them. I hope they become exactly who they want to be. As I was falling asleep last night, this thought came into my brain that I wrote down, and it was that resistance is really just a lack of hope. Interpret this however you will. But what I got from this was that when you resist something, you're thinking of how you shouldn't do it and why you shouldn't do it and why you don't want to do it and how much work it would be if you could do it and all these other things that you could be doing instead when you're resisting this one thing that you know is actually good for you and will benefit you and help you. Now, when you're resisting this, it's a lack of hope because you don't see the point or benefit of your effort if you actually were to be doing this thing. So you feel like you lack hope because you won't even put in the effort in yourself and time into yourself for this one thing that you know is good for you, that you know you're resisting. When you're resisting just about anything in your life, you could look at it from a standpoint of you being lazy and not wanting to do A, B, C, or D. Or you could get up and realize that there is hope and there is a positive outcome if you actually put in the action and effort into the thing that you know you're resisting. There will be no hope for something if you never take action on it. You can have a million great ideas, but if you never step foot and take a step into that action, into the physical world, nothing could really be accomplished, or at least not as much as you potentially could be if you were putting in the action and not resisting. If you were to truly have as much hope for this thing, then why aren't you doing it, and what is keeping you from resisting you to do it? Maybe you're scared. I guess resistance can be a bunch of things, but resistance is just you not believing it, I guess. It's you thinking that you can be fine doing nothing, when really the thing you're resisting most of the time will benefit you in a great way. So I recommend, if you find yourself in a place of resistance for anything throughout your day or your life, to try to take a different perspective and not see it through your two eyes, but see it through an eye up above. And is that I having a hard time doing this thing, or is that I lovingly doing it? And even if these things don't work out that you're resisting, they will lead you to something that will work out for you. So stop resisting yourself and stop resisting your life and go do things for yourself. This is a short poem I wrote called Smiles. Why would happiness be wrong? I know that sounds wrong, but then why do others question my own smile? I don't let them in. Instead, I hold up a mirror and show them what's underneath the mask of their own skin. I wonder what they see, or what they allow themselves to notice. Happiness is no sin. An apology is not deserving from a lotus. Are you actually looking at me, or have you not yet looked truthfully within? In the steps you take, are you playing to love or playing to win? Loving is winning. Happiness is nothing you're taught. It's not something that comes from others or the physical. Happiness is you. It's not made up to be a riddle. Happiness can be a journey, but it's existed all along. There's happiness in your persistence. Happiness has been telling us it's where we all belong. Are you covering your ears, eyes, or mind? Maybe all. Has your world made you blind? Happiness is all. It's always right. Nothing is wrong with a feeling so bright. One of the many great things about life is that we all have the ability to become the person of our dreams and live our dream lives. Being said, a lot of the time people don't realize that to achieve this, you have to become the person of your dreams and the person that can handle and maintain and accomplish and achieve these goals. And most of the time, this isn't the person that you are when you were just desiring this. We have to become a different person. An example I have is if you wanted to be an Olympian, you wouldn't just wake up tomorrow and go to the Olympic trials and become a gold medalist. You would have to train and transform and become the role of the Olympian. A lot of the time, people stop from their goals because they listen to other people doubting them and allow others' fear of you being more successful than them dictate your own success in life. Sure, other people can say you can't do something, but that's not the truth unless you choose to believe it and allow them to dictate and control what you do with your own life and human experience. You can use these people's doubt as inspiration and motivation and fuel to keep you moving forward and working harder, or you can give in to them and their fear of you outshining them. Becoming the person of your dreams doesn't happen overnight or even in a short amount of time for most people, and it's a long process that you learn a lot about yourself and the world around you going through this. There will always be people trying to tear you down from your dreams and make you not believe in yourself. That is why it is the most important for you to believe in yourself and know that your dreams are in reach if you just keep going. If you give up, your dreams aren't possible because you aren't giving them the chance to be possible. If someone out there is listening right now and they don't know if they should move forward and progress in them accomplishing their dreams, I'm telling you right now to do it. You will not regret it in any single way because you will see yourself accomplish it. Work towards being a better person, and better outcomes will attract into your life. Nobody in the entire universe or world that we're living in can have the exact same heart, mind, body, or soul as you. And this is why it is such an amazing thing to accept yourself and realize how amazing you truly are, because you are one of a kind. And if you find yourself comparing who you are and what you bring to the table to others, I encourage you to look within and find truly the amazing things that you can find about yourself. Now, if you're in a really low place and there's absolutely nothing you feel you can find about yourself that you think is special or amazing or worthy or deserving, what I have done, because I've been in that place where I thought life just wasn't for me. I thought I was purposeless, and I thought my purpose was to die and maybe show people to care more. My advice to you is to start creating who you want to be. You don't have to call it faking it, just call it creating it. When you're baking a cake, all these ingredients aren't going to look like a cake at first. You know, if you put flour in a bowl and eggs in a bowl, you're not going to get the sweet, delicious dessert right off the bat. But if you keep adding the ingredients and adding what you like and finding which flavors fit you and what type of cake you want to create, and then you put in all the ingredients and make this, you will then have the finished product of the delicious cake, which is you. You can try to compare a vanilla from a chocolate, from a strawberry, from a funfetti cake, but the fact of the matter is, each of these cakes is meant for someone else, you know? Just because someone might be telling you they don't like your flavor doesn't mean your flavor isn't valuable and desirable and worthy. And if you don't like the flavor you see in the mirror, you can start from scratch and remake your cake. I don't know, this cake analogy just came to my head. Even when there are multiple types of vanilla cakes and chocolate cakes and whatever freaking flavor you want, none of them are made the exact same. None of them have the exact same grains of flour and sugar. Every single one is different. Nobody can be who you are and who you create yourself to be. I find it a lot more productive to look at yourself in comparison to yourself and who you were yesterday or 5 seconds ago, and work on making the recipe better for the future and what you want your cake to be. Now, this may not be a piece of cake, but it takes time. to make a delicious cake, you know? Buddy from Cake Boss didn't become the boss over one night, so I believe in you. Too many people in the world today are programmed to believe that love, fulfillment, and happiness come from other people validating them and pointing out things about them that could make them feel better about themselves. I understand how it can feel good in a way for other people to recognize things about you that you may not hear on a day-to-day basis or at all, or feel about yourself. But what about when there's no one there to be telling you these amazing, great things that they see in you? If there was no one there to be telling you these things, would that make it so that you feel like there's nothing amazing about you just because no one's telling you it? When you're putting this much of your own power into the opinions and beliefs and judgments and perceptions of others, this takes away from your own true power and in creating the person who you potentially can be in this world. By letting the opinions and beliefs of others define who you are and define your own worth, you aren't creating it for yourself and you aren't being as capable of the person and human being that you are when you're listening to the opinions of everyone else in the world besides yourself. You're the single only person in this world who creates the person that you are, whether that be allowing other people to manipulate your brain and creating your own life and beliefs about yourself, or if you want to truly step into the full power and potential that you have and not listen to what anyone has to say about you unless you're taking it from a constructive point of view. But even if it's a positive thing and you find it having great effect on the way you feel about yourself, I recommend to find that within you first, because people won't always be there to tell you amazing things about yourself. And that's why you have to be there knowing amazing things about yourself. Because when people try to tell you negative things about yourself, you would then have that define you and have full power over you if you're allowing the validation and opinions of others to create who you are and your sense of self-worth. If all you do is believe and listen to the opinions of others about you, then you will never truly have a authentic sense of self and be controlled by everyone around you and what they want you to be or believe you to be. We all know that life has many points where you're alone, and if you rely on the validation of others, in these moments when you're alone, you will notice it to be a lot more difficult than if you were to know that you have yourself by your own side. It's so important to be kind to yourself and compassionate to yourself, because people in the world won't always be treating you that way, but the person who can always treat you that way is yourself, and you can always rely on yourself. It's normal to have days where you don't feel so good about yourself, but it's not normal to allow others to dictate the person you are and how you feel about yourself. This is a message I wrote down a few days ago about getting through gloomy, stormy days. There are so many positive paths to take in life. There always have been and there always will be. Sometimes we may be tricking ourselves that there aren't. The darkness can feel so consuming and confusing. The rain clouds can cover the blue sky and beautiful sun, but they do not destroy what is, has been, and always will be above the storm, blue skies. It is human to get caught in the storm now and then. In times of storms or cloudy days, don't forget to look above and beyond. These clouds are not made of cement, even if it feels like they are. They can trick you that you can't feel beyond into the warm sun rays, but that is only an illusion of the mind. Storms are water. We all need water to survive. Clouds are the air which give us great advice and flow us through life. We can all reach through the storm and see the warmth of the hot, fiery sun. Through thick and thin, Earth is here to support us, even when we think there is no sun. The sky isn't the limit, it's where we all start. Do not continue to believe in the storms are what tear you apart. You are always whole and always have the opportunity to see that. The weather changes just like our lives, and it's completely natural. There is always sun, even if you do not see it in sight. There is always sun shining through the clouds, even if you think it's not on you. It always reaches the ground. To anyone out there who's having a day-to-day where they feel like they can't feel or see any sun, I want you to feel some sun that I'm putting on you, because, sometimes we need other people there to help uplift us and support us when we really feel like there's nothing else inside of us. And I just want you to know that no matter what the weather is or what your life looks like in the circumstances, there's always an opportunity for you to look above your reality and see love and sunshine and warmth, even in the coldest days, because that's what I guess I was trying to get at. Even when it all seems very cloudy and dark, and like the rain is just pouring down on you, and it's a huge storm, there's always sun and beautiful skies above that storm. And you always have the opportunity to see that. I know you can get through this storm, and it's not forever. But what is always forever is the blue sky above the storm. So try to remember that and hang in there. I know that you can get through this, and I know you got an umbrella and a rain jacket, and I know you like to dance in puddles too, so you got this. Here's a list I came up with of some things you can do if you ever feel like you're having a rough day or stuck in your head. The first thing I came up with is to make a list of things you're ready to let go of and move on from. A lot of the time when we're stuck inside of our head or having a rough day, there are things that we can and are ready to let go of, but we might not bring it to our consciousness on a daily basis. Bringing this to your consciousness will help you release anything that's keeping you feeling stuck and holding you back. The next thing is to make a list of other people, things, or even yourself of times when you can forgive. When we hold on to what people do, it keeps us in a state of resentment or anger, and forgiving these people and being able to move on frees you. Next tip is to move your body. This can be anything from light, moderate, to heavy working out. Go for a walk, go sit outside, go get some fresh air, do anything that really makes you happy and move your body. Piggybacking off that is to go outside, whether that be rain or shine. Go outside and get some fresh air and feel the nature that's surrounding you and there to support you. When we feel really tense, another good thing we can do for ourselves is to stretch out our bodies. This can release the tension that we hold inside of our bodies and have us feel more loose and free and capable. Another thing I highly recommend to do if you're feeling down or confused in life and don't feel happy or whatever you may be feeling right now is to meditate. This can really help you identify what areas in your mind may be blocking you or keeping you feeling in these negative emotions. Similar to meditating is to intentionally breathe. This helps you release anything inside of yourself that you're ready to let go of, and intentionally breathe into parts of your body that you may feel are very heavy or weighing down on you. Talking to yourself is also another very useful tip, especially if you feel like you may not have anyone there to talk to or feel comfortable sharing with. Talking to yourself helps you work through things in your brain and creates new space for new happiness, and you can organize and work through these thoughts that you may just have inside your head. Vocalizing them helps them become real. I also recommend to write down a list of things that can make you happy or bring you joy. If you think that there's really nothing to do that, I recommend that you think long and hard about anything that could even bring you the slightest bit of joy. Planting new seeds is also something very positive that we can do inside of our lives. And even though a seed may seem small and you don't see the beautiful garden at first, every garden and flower and plant has to start with a seed, so start somewhere. I also recommend to choose to do something you love. A lot of the time when we're in these stuck mindsets, it can be super easy to just fall back and do nothing, but choosing to do something that you love will help you feel love and feel better. Being said, sometimes it is also best for us to just rest and sleep, so do that if that's what your body's calling you to do. Remember that you aren't weak at all for having a bad day, and even the toughest people in the world have bad days and cry and have emotions, even if they don't show it. Whatever day you're having in your life, you got this. I hope you can find something useful in this message I wrote a few months ago that I just found in an old journal. New starts. Every day is a new start. Every second is a new start. I wonder why we want to give up sometimes. I wonder why we doubt if we are well equipped enough to stay standing through unsure emotions and turbulence. Decide that you've had enough. End the old and start the new. Take the opportunity you've been given to expand. We have the same opportunity every sunrise to create who we want to be and what we want to do. Are you going to allow these seconds, months, or years to pass you by? Or are you going to use these seconds, months, and years to see how far you can get? It's not always going to be an easy fight, but as Muhammad Ali said, you don't lose if you get knocked down. You lose if you stay down. Wouldn't you rather die as someone bold, daring, and unique, rather than remembering your time here as you wishing you had pushed yourself a tiny bit more to grow yourself into the ways you wished that you could be? Starting may seem like a huge step into something big that's so powerful and unknown. Just remember, these results come down to you. And starting something may not always seem easy, but once you're running through the finish line, you will be so glad that you decided to go after it. You know, life can throw some pretty crazy things at us sometimes that we do not always expect, but I know that you have the strength and intelligence and love to keep yourself going and to persevere and come out a stronger person on the side of any new starts or endings. In life, there's always starts and endings because life is continuously changing as we are alive. You get to make the choice if through these changes you want to be miserable and be resisting all of the change in your life, or if you want to enjoy the process and see how far you can get. If there's something that you want to start or do, but there's a voice in your head or a fear of whatever it may be holding you back, from me to you, go and do it, because I've been so afraid to do so many things, even to just post videos online. There was a time when I was afraid to do that, but now it's what makes me so happy. So I encourage you to go and do things that make you happy and to start things that you know will make you happy, because be a better person for yourself. As long as you're making yourself happy and doing things to push yourself forward in a positive direction every single day, no one else's opinions matter. I love you. People and situations that trigger us give us the opportunity to reflect on ourselves. We can dissect internal conflict that's going on, which creates this irritability, anger, impatience, etc. When we give ourselves the patience, compassion, and understanding to honestly look within ourselves, even when it might not all feel like rainbows and love, this gives us the opportunity to chip away towards the true rainbows and love that we all possess inside. You can start by recognizing who, what, when, where, and why you are triggered and what responses you create through these situations. Ask yourself why you're feeling that way in that certain situation and see if you can follow a trail of thoughts back to why you're feeling that way and what's creating that disharmony. I found it really useful to always trust your ideas and thoughts in these situations. Even if it sounds crazy at first, our brains can tell us so much more about our world and ourselves than we would typically think. Are truly here to help us. We just have to open up to their guidance, love, and light, and meet them halfway. If you find yourself being triggered, it can feel really decaying, but over time, you can blossom new flowers and have a fruitful garden if you work through these triggers and find the love, light, joy, and harmony inside yourself. If you continue to work on this for yourself, over time, you'll realize your reactions are changing and you aren't reacting the same ways in certain situations that you once were. See yourself responding with a higher perspective of love and light because you have the bravery to look inside yourself and see the darkness. At this point, you will have held the darkness, seen it for what it is, understand it better, and be able to let it go. And you will actually feel lighter when this is done because a lot of these energies are very dense and you will be becoming a lighter being. Be patient with yourself if you notice these triggers continuing to come up even after you feel like you've done healing, because even just becoming aware and conscious of these triggers and you wanting to heal better for yourself is a step in the right direction. If you choose to do this for yourself, you're going in a healing direction, which is leading you to live a better, more loving life. And when I say better, I know that that's pretty subjective, but I think that most human beings can agree they don't want to be suffering and feeling negative their entire life. Put yourself on the path of becoming your most loving self, because in return the universe will have no other choice but to give you the most love it can. Stay strong no matter what you got going on, and know that you reflecting on yourself and looking at your darkness is something so strong. A lot of people choose to run away from their darkness their entire life, but if you're ready to face it and see it for what it is, you are creating light from your darkness. It won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it in the end. I believe in you, and I know that no matter how hard it can seem on any day or situation that's triggering you, that you have so much love and light inside of you. Peace is a very powerful magnet that attracts everything that's meant for you. Being at peace any moment in your heart attracts a life full of peace. You are living in peace. Your life is peace, which will bring more peace onto your path. You're in this positive state of being and radiating positivity, that will attract more positivity into your life. But when you're in negative states of being, and sustaining that and not really healing through that, the negativity will continue to attract towards you. Allow yourself to feel any quote-unquote negative emotions when you do, and don't resist them, but don't label yourself as them, because you're so much more than this temporary moment of discomfort. Know that you're always positivity and peace and love and light if you choose to be. You can choose to feel and embody positivity in any situation, even when it seems nearly impossible, because it feels like everything's just crashing down on you and going exactly how you don't want it to. If you can try and see a perspective of how something, even just the smallest thing, could be working out for you in that moment of crumbling, you are living in a more peaceful state. Even just realizing that you're alive and breathing. You can transmute any negative energy that you feel into this state of peace and love. You attract what you are, so if you're truly living from love and light and peace in your heart, then there will be no other option but for that to be what your life is. You have so much power in creating your life by using your words, feelings, thoughts, and actions. It's up to you how you're going to use your life and your body and mind to create a life that you want to live, or if you feel very stuck and don't know what to do with your life. If you're at a really low mental state or whatever it may be for you, and you think peace is something that you can't feel ever, I recommend that you go do something that will allow these negative emotions that you don't want to feel to come up and be released. Because by pushing them down and not feeling them and not allowing yourself to express this negativity, it will just be repressed. You have to express it to fully let it out so that you can embody this new peace. You have the power to become exactly what you want to be, and you have the power to be at peace and transmute any hard situations that you're going through right now into love and light. If you don't believe in yourself, I just want you to know that I've been in very hard situations before that left me not wanting to live or see any point in life or anything, no point in anything. And now I have a very different perspective because I've been able to transmute this and see the light in life and even the light in pain. You are peace. Just see it in yourself. I see it in you. Last night I was in my bed scrolling on TikTok, and I was shown right in front of my face how easy it is to be distracted and numb to the things around you and what could actually bring you happiness in life. This was brought to me metaphorically because I was scrolling on TikTok and I did not realize how uncomfortable I actually was sitting there scrolling on TikTok until I decided to turn off TikTok and close my eyes. And I realized I was sitting in a very uncomfortable position. My eyes and body were extremely tired. And I even had my hairbrush jabbing into my leg. TikTok was numbing and distracting me, and I did not realize what and how the things surrounding me were impacting and influencing me and how I actually felt. We are blind and numb to so many distractions that blind and numb us to what these distractions even really are. Our minds are programmed to be distracted and to be blind to these distractions. Do you ever question the status quo, or do you find yourself questioning what you're following, why you're following it, and who told you to be following it? Why do you care about the way others view you living a happy life? Why might you feel the need to conform to an artificially impermanent world and to be accepted by these unrealistic ways of living that no one actually consistently does? When you can eliminate these distractions and quiet your mind, you will be at the start of realizing what you may truly want and need for yourself and the best possible life for you. Why do you continuously want to keep going back, feeding into a fake life? Why do you want to be loved, accepted, and validated by so many people who are empty inside themselves? It's truly sad. This world is so much more than distracting yourself from the true beauty and happiness that it is. There's so much true beauty in your unique individuality, but that's not what society wants you to believe, and it's not the rules and system that it wants you to follow or step out of. Instead, we're taught to reject our unique characteristics. Never make someone or society make you feel weird for you being yourself. Work on seeing beyond these distractions that are engraved in your brain. Work on retraining your brain to happily and freely express yourself without the worry of conforming to modern idealism. Whatever distracts you in your life from what you truly want to be doing, how you truly want to feel, and where you truly want to go is something that you should invest your thought into, because if you can get rid of these distractions, you'll be living a freer life. Today I was reminded of something that really helped me stay inspired and motivated to keep going in life and realize that where I am is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And this key advice is that life is not linear. We may have an idea in our mind of how we're supposed to get from A to B or A to Z, and the things that come our way and the ways we act and what we do in our life is not always the first idea and plan A of what we had. And I think it's very important to remember that plan A is not always the best thing for you. You may think it's the best thing for you, but even if plan A isn't what's working out, plan B, C, D, or any other plan is going to get you to where you need to be. You might want your life to be from here to the exact plan you want up here, when really what is best for you could be a different journey, you know? Life is a crazy journey, and things you don't expect are bound to be coming your way. And what's really important, I find, is to know that you can always get yourself through whatever you're going through, even if you feel like the outcome that's coming or that has come is not where you want to be or what you want to do. Life is not linear. Life is unexpected, and life always has a way for you to come out feeling better. The example I had is me transferring in college because I go to a community college. I don't know if how I'm going to transfer is going to be exactly what I had first planned for, but I was reminded that life isn't linear, and even if it doesn't go as plan A, maybe plan A wasn't really what I needed right now or the best route for me. Use this to any example in your life of something that isn't exactly working out for you, and realize that exactly what you're going through and the route that you're taking is going to lead you to exactly where you need to be. There have been so many instances in my past where I thought I was going down the wrong path in all of these other situations, when really it has gotten to me to be the person I am today, which I'm so grateful for. Always remember, even in the times where you see no reason why you're living the life you are right now, it's getting to you to live the life that you want to. Make the changes, put in the work, and love yourself and relax, and know that life is not linear and everything is happening exactly how it's meant to today. When you've been able to change your life and the person you are, the people from your past will only have an idea of the person who you used to be and who they knew you to be, and they can still believe you to be the person that you used to be before you did a bunch of new things to change the person you are for your own benefit. And some of the time, cutting these people off in the past who only have an idea of who you are is part of the process of you changing your life and becoming the person that you truly want to be. I find it very valuable and important to stay true to yourself, because in times when you have had dramatic change throughout your life and become even a brand new version of yourself, these people in the past can try to make you feel limited and like you don't know who you are, and want you to still feel like you're the person you used to be, because they don't want you to be elevating, because they might still be stuck in these older ways and versions of themselves. And I find it important to stay true to yourself, because as long as you're staying true to yourself and know that you're elevating for your own benefit and well-being, that the opinions and beliefs of these other people have no effect on you if you don't let them. Sometimes these people are still stuck in their old ways and versions of themselves, so they want to make themselves feel better somehow by making them believe that you are not who you actually are and who you have become. A lot of the time when you become a new version of yourself, people don't see all the work that you truly put in behind the scenes and how much effort and determination and willpower it takes, because a lot of the time when you change yourself, you aren't out here showcasing it to the whole world, at least a lot of the work. And a lot of the time people only see the results, and they could question if what you're doing is actually integral and actually a new version of you, because they haven't seen you put in the blood, sweat, and tears. Staying true to the new version of yourself is so important, because you can show these people that you aren't the person you were in the past. It is nothing to be ashamed of who you used to be, because it's gotten you to exactly where you need to be. You can admit that you may have wished you could have done things differently, but that is showing your true growth, because you're realizing that you would do different things differently now. And that has shown your growth, because you aren't the same version of yourself that you are in the past. I recommend to wish all these people, even if you don't talk to them face to face, just wish them and send them love for themselves and growth for themselves. Because if you've been able to do that for yourself, that is a huge accomplishment, and no one who doesn't know who you are can tell you who you are. You know who you are, and keep shining. I view life as us always gaining something, even when it may feel like we're losing things or have nothing. I find this similar to the perspective of seeing the glass half full rather than half empty, because we have the opportunity to see everything that's happening to us in life as it crumbling or being negative, or you can find the things that you have to gain from these situations that can be viewed or perceived as negative or deteriorating. In life, we aren't always thrown the things or situations that we could want, but in reality, it could be leading us to our benefit and be making us stronger and gaining something that we may not have learned or seen if we didn't experience this loss. It's important to remember that when there's a loss, there's always something better coming around the next corner. Try not to keep your head down for too long, and remember that the best is yet to come. It's up to you if you want to view what happens to you in your life as you gaining something or losing something, even though it can be really hard sometimes when things leave your life that you really do cherish and care about. But it's important to remember that these things don't always leave permanently and forever, and sometimes you just need to learn something for it to come back. And sometimes things come back in different ways. And sometimes you will be set on a path for yourself where you should learn independence and more about yourself. And when things leave you, trust that you are gaining something even better in return, and trust that the universe has you in mind for your highest, most loving good. At first, it may not always be easy to see what you're gaining in a situation that really hurts your heart and is something you hold dear to you. But in time, you will see and understand everything much better. The saying is no pain, no gain. So if you want to gain things in your life, you're going to have to experience pain and become stronger. Just know that in these moments of pain, that the gain is coming, and when you're in pain, you're creating the gain. It's just like, building muscle. It could hurt at first and you get sore, but over time, you're lifting heavier and heavier weights and seeing the progress that you've made. In moments where I feel like I'm losing something or have little hope, I use this to see it from a different perspective of how can I better my life and how can I fuel this as motivation. You are so strong. You got this. Whether you're having a bad hair day, a pimple on your face, feeling ashamed of your body, or anything else that society deems as imperfect, these beliefs do not come from you, but they come from society. What would be in your mind telling you these thoughts and beliefs about your perceived imperfections if this is not what society had taught you? If you didn't believe them and weren't taught them, they simply wouldn't exist, and they don't have to. Nowadays, people profit off of others' insecurities and creating insecurities. Everyone wants a solution for their problems, so society finds problems to then purchase a solution. The fear of imperfection is a vicious cycle that feels like an ongoing void. If you fix one thing about yourself, you'll continue to find things that you dislike or do not meet your standards up to society's standards. What about your own standards that aren't based off of being fake? Your true worth comes from inside your heart and is not something that can be bought or flaunted. Someone living on the streets with $5 in their pocket could carry more beauty, wisdom, worth, and value than someone living in a $5 million house with all the material items that they want. Now, I do not believe that we should compare two people to each other, but this does show that worth does not come from a wallet. It teaches us to be so scared of being perceived as imperfect by others. If you're imperfection, you're putting others on a pedestal because you're afraid of how they could possibly perceive you. Realize that your own value and self-worth doesn't come from the opinions of others, and put yourself on a pedestal, no matter where you are in your life, even if you haven't reached all of your dreams and goals yet. Remember that you do not have to be living in your dreams and goals to be full of self-worth. And in fact, having more self-belief and worth inside yourself before you reach these dreams and goals will help get you there. When you fear imperfection, there are feelings inside of you that feel unworthy in one way or another. Step into a true sense of self-worth. Nothing in your mind could alter your sense of self-worth because you'll know that it has nothing to do with your appearance. You'll know, remember, and realize that deep down inside is where your true self-worth comes from. You're determined to live in the programming that your appearance determines your self-worth, but you're only selling yourself short at that point. You are so much more than your appearance and what's on the outside. So if working out and taking care of yourself is something you love doing, I'm not trying to say that's a bad thing, and it's actually really good for you to do things that make you feel stronger and more confident in yourself. What I'm trying to bring attention to is how we're all brought up into a world that teaches us in our minds to spiral or feel triggered when we do not hold ourselves to a certain image. Image that is a perfect fit, and the only thing that you should aim for is to feel confident and radiant without the conditioned beliefs of what confident and radiant is. Beauty and perfection do not come in one singular shape, size, or color, and we are all born in perfect bodies. Fear of unworthiness, which is pushed onto vulnerable people, is what feeds these beliefs and thoughts. Confidence is truly a mindset, and you, at any point in time, have the choice to step out of this disorderly way of thinking. You can choose to stay hungry for unattainable perfection, being left starved. Journey through your mind, sorting through all of these preconceived beliefs and thoughts. Life is so much more free when you start. It's uncomfortable stepping out of society's mold, but it's a choice one must make for themselves. A chance to oppose any beliefs that you were taught to believe. You define perfection. Coming to you all from the public school bathroom to let you know that if you're having a bad day, to remind yourself that you could be forgetting all the things you have to be grateful for. When you're stuck in a negative cycle in your mind, it's easier to get out of it when you can look around and remember all the things that surround you that you are grateful for and that you have gratitude for, because the second you start feeling gratitude is the second you'll start feeling better, and all of these perceived negative things will start to disintegrate because you will be infiltrated with gratitude, love, and light. If you're feeling sad or down, it's important to allow yourself to feel those things and accept them and not push them away from yourself, but it's also very valuable to integrate gratitude in these moments of distress or undesirable feelings that you don't want to feel. Gratitude is something that we all possess and we can all feel at any time, which is so magical. So use that to your advantage, because gratitude literally brings magic into your life, and it brings happiness into your life, and it brings love and light into your life. Gratitude is very simple, and you can be grateful for the most simple things. You can be grateful for gratitude. You can be grateful for being able to walk. You can be grateful for anything in your life. And gratitude helps take your focus into something more positive when you're feeling like you're going down a very negative path or cycle inside your mind. Even just taking a minute to write down a few things that you're grateful for can help transform the entire route of your whole day. And I find that there are endless things to be grateful for, and you can even be grateful for these lower moments because you just gotta ride the wave, you know? Gratitude is something that we all have and is a magical tool that we can all use in our life to redirect ourselves in these moments where we may feel like we're spiraling or there's nothing to be grateful for. If you're having a bad day, I find it's often because you are forgetting the gratitude that you possess. And once you snap back into this gratitude mindset and remember all the things you have to be grateful for, you will be feeling better inevitably, because gratitude is a great feeling. It's your choice if you want to feel grateful for amazing things or if you want to continue to hold yourself down. But I find that gratitude helps everyone and it helps every situation because gratitude is uplifting and light and loving. Personally, I don't really know anything else out there as great as gratitude, so use it to your advantage and remember gratitude in moments where you feel ungrateful. This is a message I wrote today about being yourself. Being yourself is something we're told to hide. We're told that people will judge you, laugh, or mock you, and that you can't live a happy life if others perceive you as out of the ordinary. In a world full of people trying to be the same way, why would you want to be another copy and paste of the product of society? Why would you want to let somebody chop off your wings of freedom to be accepted by the rules of society? Why continue to blindly accept those rules? This is a mold to keep people from being their true, authentic, out of the ordinary self. If you are out of the ordinary, you have the power in being your own free self. The ordinary is what people stuck in the constraints and conformities of the mold want you to be. Some people are scared to take the leap of faith and be different. It's something that you have to do over and over again to break the mold and create your own model. Who taught you that your interests are weird, or that you shouldn't wear your hair like that, or it's better to just follow the crowd? Feeling accepted by others won't get you to accept yourself. Trying to get others to accept a false sense of self won't bring you closer to your true self. When no one can tell you who you are, what to be, and what to do, is when you are most potently powerful. When they no longer control you, they might look down on you. Truly, that's someone looking down on themselves and seeing someone else be fearlessly true to self. A quote that I find very valuable is that no one can judge you besides yourself. So just remember, in times where you may feel like people are staring at you or you're self-conscious for doing what truly makes you happy as a human being, remember that society is not what defines you, and what defines you is how you feel about yourself. And if you feel judged, just remind yourself to accept yourself as you are, because you don't need anyone following the mold of society to tell you what to be doing when you're trying to create your own definition of happiness and life and love. When people see you shining and they're stuck in their darkness, they will do everything they can to try and make you seem evil and make you seem bad and make you seem fake, when really that's a mirror reflecting how they truly feel about themselves. You can never be judged if you always accept yourself and are doing what makes you happy, and if you don't judge yourself. We can only truly judge ourselves because we only judge ourselves when we feel judged by others. And if you're always there to accept yourself and pick yourself back up and love yourself for being true to you, you will always have your own back and always be there to pick yourself back up. Do your best to catch yourself when you find other people's judgments and opinions taking a toll on you. Your uniqueness and individuality is worth so much. Brilliance is in all of us. We all know the way to go, even if it feels uncertain or uncomfortable. There is no wrong way to go when they all lead to the same destination. There is brilliance in the journey we take when we can take our focus off of the destination. There is brilliance in the resilience that got you exactly here today. Give yourself credit where credit is due for being here. You will continue to grow, learn, experience, and transform. This is not easy to do, but you are doing it. This takes true strength. During the times no one saw you suffer, and you still put a smile on your face, ready to be there for others, you are showing strength and selflessness. You understand that helping others is helping yourself, and that is brilliant. You continue moving forward even if it can feel backwards, and that is brilliant. Even when you feel like you don't know what you are doing, you still have brilliance. Stop hiding your intense power by thinking it is not there sometimes. It will never leave you. It's always been with you and always will be. Choose to remember it. Choose to remember who you are and the brilliance that you hold. Moving through your negative emotions moves you forward. Here's a visual of the negative emotions you hold and carry inside of you. These could be experiences, beliefs, thoughts, feelings, words, past actions, regrets, whatever it is. Look at how tangled and intertwined this is inside. This green line represents times where you're approaching these emotions, and that could be intentional, a circumstance, or anything that causes you to remember these experiences or beliefs or thoughts and feelings. Now, when you continue to go further into these emotions, it will feel very consuming maybe and challenging because you are facing yourself and the conflict within yourself. But I promise you that there will be a point where you get out on the other side and are moving this way, even though the path seemed a little rough. You can see that it definitely wasn't easy, but it definitely was possible for the work to be done to get from point A to point B. I guarantee if you confront yourself, you will see many breakthroughs and realizations within your life. This red line will represent a time where you're approaching these emotions, but you may not feel ready yet or overwhelmed to explore all of this tangled territory. It's not to say that stopping at this point defines you as weak, incapable, less than, or anything of the sort, because no matter what side you're on or where you are completely capable, strong, and able to do whatever it is. But if you feel like you aren't ready at this time to confront all of these things inside your brain and life and body, you might be here, but then you go back to here, and you continue to learn things on this side. It's important to note that no matter where you are in these stages of your own life and growth and development, that there is plenty of things to learn and experience and love if you aren't ready to face certain things yet, or if you are ready to work through them and see what's on the other side. These emotions can create a lot of clouds that cloud our vision from seeing what's on the other side, and we can feel like the only path is to avoid ourselves. As well, I've found that in these moments, you can be reminded of when you felt weak or incapable, which can make you not want to continue moving through these. But I find that's where you find your true strength, because you can see all of the things you've endured, encountered, made it out alive, and continued to push through. Stay grateful when people fuck over their spot in your life. Why would you want someone in your life who would just treat you undeservingly? Stay grateful for getting these bums out and getting the real ones who are lining up to come in. You gotta get rid of the things that do not serve your best purpose in life so that the best purpose can be brought in. Be patient and be grateful. Be grateful to be getting rid of the fakes. Hee 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 hee. Ha 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 ha.